So here we are live from Mobile Beat Las Vegas. Well, this is recorded, but Mitch and I are live together.
We're together here, finally. It's been a minute since we've been actually together physically on a camera.
Yeah, it has.
The last time was Minnesota.
Probably. It has been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so most of the time it's like that split screen thing on Zoom. So
yeah, which is fine.
This is just cool.
This is not split. I can reach out and touch. We'll see.
Yeah, most of the time we have a finger that goes off the screen one side that comes
exactly.
on. Oh, that's a Dave Tournier, Jeremy Breck thing.
Yeah, well,
So Mitch, from day one, I want to talk about some of the things for those of you who haven't been to the shows, or any shows, whether it's Mobile Beat, DJ Expo, Midwest DJs Live, any of the shows.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There's learning opportunities. Mitch has been in the DJ industry for 4.5 years.
No.
He's a little longer than that. He's not quite as old as...
A little long in the tooth.
A little bit. But even as someone who's a seasoned veteran who has been to not only DJ events, but you've gone to really some advanced training in other arenas.
Yes.
So you're not... this isn't new to you.
Yeah, this isn't something that I'm experiencing for the first time. We've seen a lot of different conferences over the years and the evolution of conferences. And so just, I guess, riffing my take of what we got for day one. I'm actually going to give something from day two as well.
Okay, so let's talk about a couple of the points of something that you learned that again, the point I'm trying to make with this little segment here is that even as an experienced person, and I'll share one too, that we pick up ideas and we pick up things that are hugely valuable to our businesses. Yes. So share one for us.
All right, so Mike Walter yesterday led off the conference first off, and if you get a chance to see Mike Walter speak, put your butt in a seat, you will learn.
Yes.
Dancers, sitters, and skeptics. Mike broke down our audience, and not just broke it down from his perspective, but actually has a survey that he has sent out and got lots of response. This isn't just like a small sampling of 25 people. I mean, he's got a lot of respondents on this to deliver truly what people feel and think, the 25 to 34 demographic that we are hitting as disc jockeys, and specifically what that outlined. And in fact, Mike even was so bold to say that, you know what, I thought this was the case in regards to 25 to 34-year-olds being done with something, but Mike actually went in and said, no, they actually are okay with it.
Yes.
Or vice versa in regards to whatever it was, if it's line dances or talking about, are they sick and tired of some of the music coming out currently, or the old stuff that we always play, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Mike really broke it down to those three categories, dancers, sitters, and skeptics, and really aligned with how those affect our parties and how we can make better events and the psychology of dancing by actually incorporating some of those. And how do you get he even showed a video with a sitter on the dance floor.
That was funny.
And the guy was like, he's totally just pained expression on his face, which is not what you want if you're shooting video for an event, mind you.
True.
But the guys out there, as we all were guys, right? I mean, you get out there and dance with your wife or for your wife sometimes. And this is a fast song, so it wasn't like even a slow romantic thing. He was just pained to do it.
It was painful to watch because there have been times where I've been that guy out there.
That guy.
Just I don't feel like it, and she wants me to go. And his wife, as she's out there, singing along.
She's like loving it. And so she's the dancer. He is the sitter. He is totally a sitter, not even a skeptic. Yeah.
No, that was funny. But as I was listening to Mike, and that's actually one of the highlights that is listening to him explain that. We always thought that having people kind of bebopping in their chair and sitting, that aspect of it, but the idea that trying to pull them out onto the dance floor just isn't what we should be doing. So,
no,
and that was it's like, I have to rethink some things after that.
It's one of those things where Mike broke down the psychology of it, and I think that is something that DJs, especially if you're just getting into the industry or new to the industry, you don't fully comprehend. Mike even made a comment, and I said this before in some of the training I've done, is that the time clock, right? The top of the hour. So if you're actually going to finish up a dance set and end it at, let's say, I don't know, 8:43, like, oh, it's only 8:45. We still got time left.
Yep.
But if you push it to 9:10, oh my gosh, it's after 9. We better get, or 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? Something like that. The psychology of even going back to radio, sweeping the time clock, right?
Exactly.
It's that concept. So Mike even referenced that in one of his bullet points in his seminar. So Mike's seminar yesterday, again, if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah,
it was excellent.
Yeah, he did. He definitely knocked it out of the park. So that was my real big takeaway from yesterday.
Okay,
no, it's good. I'm glad because it was a very good presentation. Mike does a wonderful job, but that was such a great takeaway that, again, two people who've been in this industry for probably a combined years, lots of years. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because that's going to make me depressed. We've been around and we've been to Mobile Beat and such for a long time. And yet we both were like, wow, we started the day with a moment that it's like, this is something I can build off. I can utilize this in my business and sales when I'm talking to. So good point.
Absolutely. So this morning I got a chance to be a part of the Building Your Network with Rob Peters and Keith Allen.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to have a moment. Everyone always gets to the conference and they always say, oh, the education's in the hallways. Right?
True.
So it was nice to be able to have and sit at a round table, literally a round table.
Right over here.
Yeah, 60-inch rounds or 72-inch rounds, whatever the heck
they're all over the room here, yeah.
And just be able to connect with someone across the table and say, okay, hey, where do you get your leads from? And how are you doing your follow-ups? And just, some guy in Pittsburgh may have a completely different idea than what I have in Michigan, which is completely different than the guy in San Diego or the gal up in Spokane. But to be able to connect with all of those different individuals, you may pull an idea out of that, and ooh, that can make me 5 figures, or whatever the case may be. So that's where it's a great opportunity to be able to leverage some of that time. And yes, it happens early in the morning, which means you can't go out and get...
You can't be out all night long.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
For those of
a challenge.
For those of you who are wondering, back when we were younger, we first came...
I didn't drink last night.
We used to... I saw 3 and 4 in the morning,
right,
numerous times.
Oh my gosh!
I have not in probably the last 10 years, and part of it's getting older. But I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
I was not in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, you guys, you young guys weren't, but because there's so much opportunity the next day, and it's gotten to the point now where we've done this enough where you're looking for that 1 or 2.
Why are you here?
You're looking for those nuggets, and those are the nuggets that you can be like, wow. You miss a nugget, and they could be, like you said, a 5-figure jump. So
be intentional with your time at a conference.
Yeah, and playing is fun. I mean, there's going to be Wednesday night's kind of that play night. I would say here at the event because Thursday morning's a little more down.
I'm speaking Thursday morning, John.
Like I said, Thursday morning's a little more down. But Wednesday is actually the night that they have open for people to go out and be going into town. So Mitch has got a really bad spot on Thursday morning.
I'm on Thursday at Joe Bun's favorite time, 10.
10. Oh, well, that's like middle of the day. I mean, that's like for you. That's almost lunch. No, that's 1 o'clock. That's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock East Coast time. So yeah, we're gonna be rocking.
Speaking of that, there's a lot of East Coast DJs here this year. I've been really surprised that we have a nice mixture from all over. Yeah. But it seems like we have a lot more coming for the first time from the East Coast, which is really kind of neat to see.
Yeah, it's nice to see the good cross section of disc jockeys, and we always see a typical 50% new. I find is roughly. Like even I think someone called it out in the room earlier, and they just raised
a hand,
kind of thing, and that was good to see. But you got to have that conglomeration of your veterans and folks for the first time, be able to have that knowledge shared, and that's why where you're in between. Let's say maybe you're in between a conference. That's where DJNTV can really come into play to help you continue that learning and that growth. Beyond the conference time and bring it to you visual at your computer while you're sitting in your PJs eating bonbons or
if you're wearing PJs at all. Just gonna say,
who wears PJs?
We know we've had webcams on. For those of you who don't know, we can control your web.
I'm not wearing pants now.
Exactly, it's a great thing. But you mentioned, of course, the different levels of DJs, more entry, and that was the cool part about the network. And bringing it back to that, because I observed that yesterday. I was setting up, they were doing that, and you had some at the tables who were new. It's my first or second year.
Yeah, sure.
And then you had people who are like yourself and myself. We've been in this for a while. We've been in the trenches, and it was neat to watch them share. And you didn't have any ego that was like, oh, that's a stupid idea. You weren't having that. You had, in one case, I was listening to a younger DJ who was like sharing an idea, and we would put that as a really kind of an entry idea.
Yeah, sure.
And that's understandable, because that's where they're at. Yep, you've got to start somewhere. And it was really cool is that the more advanced DJ who's with, or more experienced, let's call it that, was like, have you ever thought about this? And how it would look this way, and it was asking the questions for them to come to their own conclusions. But it was a neat way to see that they were, in essence, working together and thinking. And then the younger DJ mentioned something that you could see the light went click. Yeah. With the more experience, and I think if I remember that person was like a 15 to 20 year, had been a veteran of the industry. Yeah. That little click for that veteran probably was a money-making idea that might not have been exactly this idea, but it most likely was like,
it was a jumping point.
This idea was that jumping point. And it would be like, ooh, if I did not this, but this, and this is going to be big. That's for people like us. That's why we come to these.
Well, and it's a nice crossroads of people here. But I think it's important for us to, as veterans, try to give back to some of those younger guys or
for sure.
New DJs coming in. And, some people sit here and say, oh, well, it's just one-on-one content. Jason Clock this morning dropped some great content in regards to measuring your performance. And I don't know if you were on the screens, if you got the screenshots or not. I did. I was furiously taking notes about measurables, and Jason is very intentional about his measurables, and I think that's something that's a little more 201.
Oh yeah, wow.
301 in some cases for disc jockeys in this arena to be thinking about the corporate side, and I think that's where Jason really differentiated himself. And we can talk about performance, we can talk about sales, we can talk about marketing, but inevitably, we all have relatively the same gear.
Yep, exactly.
We all play the same songs, for the most part. And Jason was intentional about separating himself on the operations side. And I think that's something we can learn from. How do you take and, not necessarily replicate that, you never want to copy someone direct, but how can you apply that to your own business so that you are measuring your talent? And so that's, people, mobile, whatever, insert conference name here.
Yeah, precisely.
Atlantic City, whatever, don't matter. Everyone's like, one-on-one. Nah, it's there. But you do have to be in your seat and not, hungover from partying the night before. That's the problem.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely is. Let's hit one more little area. And it might have been Jason. That
was Clock. Yeah, it was my three.
That was your three. Okay.
It was the networking this morning with roundtables, Mike, and then of course Jason Clive. So
one cool thing about Jason, and not specifically just Jason, but there are people on the stage who have got incredible DJ businesses behind them, and their business is their knowledge and such. They probably would be a professor in a college type level with what they've been able to accomplish, and we're able to go and learn. And probably the coolest part is not only can you learn, but afterwards in this little space, I've seen speakers. They come out and they're available. Sit down and they can talk. Yesterday, Alan Berg is holding court over there. Mike Walter is holding court over here. Big Daddy's holding court everywhere because the man working the room. That's just how Big Daddy is. But they're here, and you can engage and ask questions and connect with them. And
which, no offense, but you can't really do that as well over the computer screen. It's nothing will replace the one-to-one handshake, have a meal, grab a lunch, that kind of thing.
A Big Daddy hug.
Well, I can't say that on air.
Oh! I'm sorry. That was. But
yes, Big Daddy's hugs.
Big Daddy.
That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. Big Daddy's one of the nicest guys in the industry.
Absolutely.
And
unless you really know him.
And then it's all.
And then it's over. Did I just say that?
I still love his when Big Daddy's on the stage and he's gonna slap with Joe Bud. Oh, it's an inside, or not an inside
Sorry,
joke, but Big Daddy was up on the stage, and he and Joe Bunn, he introduced Joe Bunn yesterday as one of his, at the end of it. I think, well, you guys couldn't really see it on the video, unfortunately.
Okay, so let me give you one more.
Okay.
Real quick.
And then we'll wrap up.
Rob Foray this morning.
Oh, yes.
My gosh. Some people just look at Rob Foray in the industry and say, oh, it's Rob Foray. Seriously. That man is extremely talented.
Yes.
He knows his stuff. His timing is impeccable. He has total command of a room, a situation, and to get people up and moving at 9 a.m., even though his room count was small considerably, but it's 9 a.m. after the first night. That's a tough spot.
Well, and he's also got
to be in.
And there's additional there. Yesterday there was basically one.
Yeah.
When Mike was on. Now there's, I think, there's up to 5 different things going
on right now, which divides the audience, which is tough. So, but Rob is a consummate professional, and if you want to find out information about Rob, he shared a thing in his seminar. I'm assuming I share it here. If you follow him on Instagram and say, "Hey Rob, what's that code for that new gaming system?" and DM him on Instagram, he'll hook you up with a code for a new gaming system that he's kind of pushing out a little bit.
Nice.
And we'll be helping DJs with. I forget the name of it off the top of my head right now. Otherwise, I'd say it. But yeah, I
Instagram.
sent him a DM.
Yeah.
So DM him on Instagram. Instagram is @Rob Foray. So
nice.
Rob is amazing. I
Very
can't
much
say
so.
enough good things about the man. So
yeah, Rob is one of the, and he's younger than us by a little bit.
Yeah, he's
a little bit, but he's
my son.
Rob's going to be one of the names you're going to be hearing more and more as we go forward here in the next few years, as he's continuing to develop his brand. Kind of like, when Mike Walter first started, he did a great job. Yeah. But from where he was when he started to where he is today, is night and day. And it's not because Mike was bad then.
No.
He was good then. He's now to the point where Mike can now take it, in essence, on the road in any industry, and he can talk and capture a room. Rob Foray is going to be that guy in the future also with that, which he's speaking outside of the DJ industry.
I can share it. What the hell?
We didn't say that.
Rob just actually was contracted to be a master of ceremonies for an upcoming conference in Dubai.
Oh,
Dubai.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not quite as good as Pittsburgh, if there would be one in Pittsburgh.
Right.
But,
it's close. I mean, Sioux City, Iowa. I mean, that'd be the place.
That's dreaming. That is.
Nothing against anyone from Sioux. If you're from Sioux City, don't send me hate mail.
Yeah, we love you there.
Or
we don't.
Pittsburgh. I don't want hate mail.
But it's that is really impressive. And Rob shares a lot on his Instagram account.
Yeah, he does.
So follow him on his Instagram account, Rob Foray.
Hit up his Insta.
And then watch the.
Look at me talking like I'm cool. Insta.
Yeah, Insta. Yeah, you are. You DM him. You're using all these cool things.
Insta.
It's like send him a mail.
Tinder,
just right.
Swipe,
just go. Get him get a postcard and say, "Dear Mr. Foray, would you please send me the information?" And then postage stamp and send it off. It'll be great. Oh, well, gang, we're going to wrap things up. Mitch, thank you much for sharing.
John,
it's good to get to see you and such face-to-face, because we don't get to do this kind of stuff very often. But we will again at Midwest DJs Live here in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yay! It's coming up quick. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time.